It's okay. It's okay. You're not crazy. You're just waking up. This video was originally inspired by the beautiful Infinite Waters, who I believe has a video titled similarly. And I'm not sure what his inspiration for creating that was. However, I know what my inspiration was for creating. And I did semi-recently, I think, make a video on a similar subject. However, I wanted to cover it a little bit more fully. What this video is about is awakening. Now, awakening in general is kind of this hugely thrown around common topic word now, and I actually have begun to wonder if people really understand what that means. I'm going to do my best to sort of explain what the heck is awakening anyways. That's part one. Hopefully this won't be too long. Part one is, what is awakening? And the most simple way that I can think to explain awakening is simply a point in your life at which you realize that there is more to life. What do I mean by that? What I mean specifically is, and I don't know if I can think of a very good, crystal clear example of this. However, let's just take some random example, literally no one in specifics. Let's just say you're Joe Schmo out there and you are, let's just say maybe 20 for the sake of keeping this individual nice and young. They're young enough to change their life around. So at 20, Joe has some kind of an experience and suddenly one day while at work realizes that, oh my gosh, like, yes, here I am. I get up every day. I eat my breakfast, brush my teeth, brush my hair, go to work. I work my job from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. I come home, maybe I have dinner with my family. I get to maybe watch 1 or 2 hours of TV. I go to sleep and the day repeats. And if you've ever seen the movie Groundhog Day, which is really a great movie and I highly suggest it, maybe I'll throw a picture of it in up here. Go and watch that. Life, at some point in your life, you will likely realize that life is like that if you haven't realized it up until that point. And what tends to happen at that juncture is at that point, you will, in my opinion, have had your first, what I would call, awakening experience. So what that really means is it's your first introduction to the fact that there is way more to life than meets the eye, that there is more than simply for example, me as a kid. Now, no, I did not awaken when I was a child. I was more in my late teenagehood. However, it's like when you're in school as a child, you know, your typical routine is you get up around 6 a.m., you go to the bus, you take your bus to school, you know, breakfast maybe was in there somewhere. You go to school, you're at school all day, you know, you have your lunch at school, and that's your rhythm for 4 years. And then after that school, perhaps another 4 and another 4, you know, you get my point. It's the rhythm. It's the thing you do, like a hamster on a wheel. Insert awesome picture, future editing me. It is like that. We're just kind of going round and round doing the same things. And I think my theory is that as humans, at some point, this is probably why people awaken at different points, your soul just is like, this is fucking boring. I want to do something fun. I want to play. And you become aware, because that's how it happened to me. It's not like one of those events where you can say, oh, I remember exactly what I was doing and who was saying what and what the smells were and everything. No. And yet you won't forget your first awakening either. It's the experience you won't forget. You may forget all the other details, but it's a life-shocking kind of an experience that you have to realize that, holy moly, like life is deeper than I thought. And then life becomes this quest for like, what actually is life? Who am I? All of this stuff that we ask as philosophical human beings. I wanted to say that if by chance you have just gone through this recently, like you are like, OMG, what was I doing? Like I was a zombie. Brains, go to work every day. Do the things, take care of the family. I think that's more robot than zombie. At any rate, Most people at some point have an awareness that, oh my gosh, this is not all there is to life. There is so much more to experience than just this. And they begin to explore life more than they ever have before. So, as I said before, if you have just gone through this, understand that you are, number one, so not crazy, because I assure you, I've been there. I remember what it felt like. And honestly, and still even to this day throughout my journey, I feel that way. So it just feels like I've lost my mind. I am Alice tumbling down the rabbit hole. There is like life, what is it even? Life will seemingly not make sense in the beginning of your awakening journey. And so I wanted to echo Infinite Waters' video, I think the intent behind it, which is just to say to those of you who may have recently awakened that you're not crazy. You ain't crazy. There's a bunch of us out here who have awakened, who have been awake for a while even. People are in varying stages of awakening at all times, because we all awaken at different times. Everything in everyone's life happens at a different point, which is perfect and divinely encoded for you to happen at that time. So understand that if you're feeling like, am I crazy? No, honey, you're not. It's just your perhaps first awakening. And what tends to preface this is what they call the dark night of the soul, but that in and of itself is like a whole other topic. So unless you guys specifically want to hear about that, we won't get into that here, because it is, as it sort of sounds, quite a dark night and a dark time. So not what I'm looking to talk about here. This is to reassure the beautiful newly awakened souls that may be watching this video that no, you're not crazy. And in fact, even those of you who have already awakened, who may be going through a phase where you're like, holy geez, is this real? Yup, this is some crazy ride we all signed up for, and it's real. And I guess what I want to share with you is life. I've said this before in many, many ways. I will continue to say it. Life is what you make of it, in the sense that it is literally what you believe will come to pass. And I fought with that a lot myself. It's been a hard thing to understand and to swallow and to follow and to understand. And it's the truth that the things we experience on the external world are in some form or fashion a reflection or expression of something that we feel about ourselves inside. It's really quite crazy when you dig into it, which again is why I titled this. I think will have titled this, we'll see, that you're not crazy. You've just woken up. And now you're here with the rest of us that are relating the world to the Matrix, and perhaps that whole analogy will now make more sense to you if it didn't before. So if you know anyone who needs to hear this video, who might have just gone through their awakening journey, please do share it with them. Subscribe, as that really helps me to get these messages out there to those people who do need to hear them. And last but not least, if you, my beautiful spirit soul, need any support or coaching, particularly in your health, please don't hesitate to reach out to me at this email address, where it'd be my genuine pleasure to help you in any way that I can. Have a beautiful and a blessed rest of your day or night whenever you're seeing this, and I will see you, gorgeous cats, in the next one. Namaste, much love, and stay healthy. Bye. There's like, I've lost my mind. I am Alice tumbling down the rabbit hole. There is like zombie brains. Go to work every day. Do the things, take care of the family. What am I even trying to call us? I don't even remember, it's not like, breakfast maybe was in there somewhere. Like a point in your life at which you realize that there is more to life. If I have to break this into 2 videos, then so be it. What the heck is awakening anyway? Whenever you're seeing this, holy geez, is this real?